Hello, my friends. This reading is intended for divine masculines. I'm looking to get a message that the divine masculines who find this reading need to hear. So I started off with 3 cards from the Animal Spirit deck by Kim Krans, in case you're wondering. And the first card out was the Oyster. Patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires in life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, and masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. So I think we're going to focus on what is it you've been hesitant to share in this reading. But let's see what the other cards have to say. Swan. Effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, lacking vision. To bring into balance, solo time and writing. So we've got sharing, solo time, and writing. All right. And what is the third one? The hyena. What does the hyena have to say to you? You may recognize yourself in one or more of these cards, or it may be that they are simply here for advice for you. But I think this one is probably one that you will see yourself in. Hyena, humor, wit, sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. All right, on a more serious note, if you are a masculine on the divine journey, and you probably at least think you are if you're watching this reading, it's likely that you do have issues with addiction. So that's a big deal, I realize. And this journey is in part to help you become healthier in all ways. So those issues will become highlighted in your life, and you won't be able to avoid them any longer. My advice for being on a journey of spiritual awakening, which is what this is go with the flow. Don't fight it. The more you fight it, the harder it will be for you. And I've been seeing things that suggest that a lot of people don't survive a call to spiritual awakening, which makes me very sad. I embraced the beginning of my own spiritual awakening, because once it starts, it never really stops. But that's not cause for alarm. But I embraced it because I was ready to. I was in a very bad place, and I was very ready to let go of everything. So hopefully you're in a better place than I was, and hopefully you are able to let go of your current life, because once you've been called to a spiritual awakening, everything changes. So yes, stability is in reverse. The Four of Discs, or Pentacles. People who are in a Four of Pentacles state tend to be very insecure, and they come across as selfish and miserly because they are desperately holding on to things that, to their foundation, or things that they feel are their foundation. So control, possessiveness, just stuff, material stuff that you feel is necessary for your life. But you have been called to a spiritual awakening. Your life is supposed to change. Perhaps you're becoming aware of that, and since this is in reverse, there are two possibilities. You have become aware of that, and you are starting to release, to let go. Or you are digging in your heels and holding on even more tightly. There is also an indication here that your foundation is crumbling. This is reinforced by the Tower card, which the Tower comes when things are stagnant, when you are refusing to let go of things that you need to let go of, when it is time for you to build a new foundation because the old one will not work with the life that is coming for you, with the person you are becoming. So if you've been living a very material life, a very self-indulgent life, a very unhealthy life, you can't do that and be on a spiritual awakening. So the Tower card is a card of the Major Arcana, which means forces outside of your control are just going to tear the whole thing down because it doesn't work, or it will not work in the future. So the Two of Swords is a card of stagnation. It's very hard to do anything when you're holding two swords in your hands crossed like that. You really can't do anything. And in the typical classical deck, the person also has a blindfold on. But the other thing is, you can put down the swords and take off that blindfold and go and do things anytime you want. You're choosing not to. So that's willful stagnation. And the Tower is here to just tear it all down. Again, the King of Discs, King of Pentacles in reverse. Someone who is holding on tightly to things that aren't going to work in your new life, in the new you that you are becoming. So you have a tendency to overindulge, to overspend, a tendency towards debt, a tendency towards self-induced crises, self-sabotage. You love stuff, the material world. You collect things. Not that you're going to use them, you just collect them. And you're probably selfish, controlling, and you don't give to others even though you could. Or maybe you can't because things are falling apart now. All right, Four of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups is about being ungrateful. I'm talking about the upright now. Being ungrateful and not seeing the gifts that the universe is giving you or trying to give to you. So a need for gratitude, and also it's also a very strong call for meditation. So reversed, again, this could be that your stagnation, it can refer to stagnation coming to an end. It can refer to you finally seeing through your, sort of bratty attitudes. And perhaps you're becoming stronger or more courageous. Remember, courage isn't about not feeling fear. It's about feeling fear and acting anyway. That's what courage is. So this hangman in reverse, of course, is the need for a new perspective. There's also, with the hangman, a sense of loss, or I should say sacrifice, along with this change in perspective. But yes, most of all, it's about surrender. Having it in reverse suggests that you are doing your best to avoid surrendering, avoid going with the flow of this spiritual awakening that you are experiencing. All right. I drew some other cards for you. We have the Loyal Heart and Clean It Up. I think those are pretty obvious. It is time for you to be true to your heart, to yourself, to who you really are, and not just societal expectations. And it is time for you to be loyal to those who are deserving of your loyalty. If that is something that maybe you have not been very good at, you should consider that. And clean it up. It is time for you to clean up your ish. What have you been refusing to deal with that it's time you do it? All right, the book's meanings. Getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. The Oracle's message, ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Too much work? Overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack, takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds up to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. Okay, so the numbers are 21 and 35, in case those have meaning for you. Loyal Heart. Essential meanings: fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message: evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. I asked for a final message for you, and this is what I got. Beware of greed. Someone is behaving stupidly. I'm pretty sure that's you. Sorry. Dark man. Dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. And eye. Psychic ability. Trust your intuition. So I suspect the stupidity is ignoring your intuition, which, you haven't been raised to do that, I am well aware. All right, these last two cards, I'm not sure if they're meant for you or not, but I'm putting them out there in case they are. January and Cain. So, something significant about the month of January, either in the past or in the future, and pay attention to your health, which is very likely if you are dealing with addictions. And that is your reading. I wish you all the best of luck.